I was walking slowly, hearing nothing but the sound of my own footsteps echoing on the stone pavement. But suddenly, something moved in the darkness. A tall, unnatural shadow stretched behind me, my breath caught in my throat. I quickened my pace, but the shadow didn't fall behind. My legs began to tremble, yet I had to keep running. I ran with all my strength until I reached the door of my house. I slammed the lock with trembling fingers and shut the door behind me. I thought the fear was over. But when I turned on the light, someone was standing right in front of me. He was by the door. His clothes were torn, and blood was dripping from a wound on his hand. My breath caught again, and though I was terrified, I couldn't leave him there. I had to help him. With trembling hands, I cleaned and bandaged his wound. He didn't say a single word. He just stared at me. His gaze, though cold and serious, still made me afraid. When I finished, I stepped back and opened the door. He looked at me for a moment, silent, and then moved away. Fading into the darkness, I stood by the door, taking a deep breath. Hundreds of questions ran through my mind. Who was he? Why was he there? What was happening? The next morning, still shaken from the nightmare of last night, the pounding on the door made my heart skip a beat. When I opened it, 2 police officers were standing there, their expressions serious. "Miss Zoe, please come with us," they said. I protested. "What happened? I didn't do anything," but they gave no explanation. They guided me to the car, and my breath was racing. At the headquarters, one of the officers asked, "Did anyone come to your house last night? Who was it?" I lied. "No, no one came. I was alone like always." The officer frowned and said, "Don't lie. We have documents and evidence that someone came to your house last night." "I'll ask again, who was it?" I stayed silent. I didn't want to get myself into trouble. At that moment, the door opened. My breath caught in my throat. He was the one I least wanted to see, Sam, my childhood friend.
"Zoe, come with me."
He took me to his office. We sat down. With a calm but serious voice, he said,
"Zoe, we have documents and evidence showing that a wounded man came to your house last night. I know you're kind enough to tend to him even without knowing who he is.
I was silent for a moment. Then he continued,
You need to help if you want to avoid prison. If you don't cooperate with us, you could be charged. It isn't a small matter you had contact with a mafia boss, Marco.
I asked, frightened. A mafia boss?
He's going to come after you again because you put yourself in danger. Many enemies, and you'll get pulled into trouble too. The only safe option is for him to take you to his mansion. You'll be under his control, but safe.
Why would someone who doesn't even know me take me to his mansion?
Because this morning, one of their hackers found everything about you from your birth until now. He knows you're just an ordinary, harmless girl.
So, you want me to spy on him in his mansion?
Yes, in his mansion, there's a hidden place that holds critical information. You can't infiltrate directly. You have to be careful. Note anything suspicious and report it to us. Danger becomes too great, we'll get you out immediately.
I was silent for a few seconds. Fear was rising inside me. Going to the mafia boss's mansion was terrifying. The thought of prison marched in front of my eyes like a shadow. Finally, in a cold, steady voice, I said, "All right, do it." Sam nodded slowly. "Good. This is your only way out. Don't worry, we've got your back." A few hours later, I was walking down the street. The air was cold, my mind full of thoughts. Suddenly, a group grabbed me from behind. They pressed my arms tightly, and before I could even realize what was happening, they dragged me into a black car. The door slammed shut with a loud thud. The car's interior light came on. I saw the face of the person who sent chills down my spine. Marco, the mafia boss. He sat in front of me, his gaze heavy and utterly serious. Fear sank to the core of my bones. "What do you want from me?" Marco took a deep breath and said coldly.
"Calm down. I won't hurt you," I
Asked. "Why? Why was I taken like this?"
"The night you helped me, I was running from the police and one of my enemies. One of them saw me. Now they're after revenge, and if they reach you, they'll use you to get to me or eliminate you."
The air grew heavy. I asked, "Why didn't you kill me? Why are you speaking to me like this?" Marco didn't flinch. He just said,
"Because you're innocent. I want you to die."
My voice rose. "Since when?" I answered in a sharp, serious tone.
"Don't ask too many questions. If you want to stay alive, be quiet and don't speak."
The car stopped in front of the mansion's massive gates. Armed guards stood by the entrance, but Marco opened the door and stared at me with the same cold gaze. In a commanding tone, he said,
"Come."
Confused and without asking a question, I stepped out and entered the courtyard. Light from the lamps glinted off the marble paving stones. Servant, expressionless, and without a word, me through the tall, ornate hallways, where cameras were installed in every corner. He opened the door to one of the rooms and said in a dry tone, "This is your room from now on." It's hard to believe. The room was huge and bright, with a stunning white bed in the center that looked like it had been taken straight out of a magazine. I took a deep breath, flopped onto the bed, and closed my eyes. My heart was still racing. In my mind, I whispered, "This is just a nightmare. I'm actually in the Mafia boss's mansion? It really happened?" At that moment, my phone vibrated. Seeing the name on the screen, it was Sam. I answered quietly. I asked, "Is everything okay? Where are you now?" He asked, "In the mansion, but don't think I can stay in touch with you for long. Everything I do is being watched." "Sam, this mission is insane. If they find out I'm a spy, they'll kill me immediately." "Calm down, Zoe. Just hang on for a few days. Just..." Then, the sound of the door slamming open echoed through the room like a gunshot. Rose. Joe entered with firm steps and a cold stare, accompanied by a servant. My eyes immediately landed on the phone in my hand. Stepped forward, and in a harsh, clipped voice said, "Who were you talking to?